up from the north to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 2 degrees above, wind chill values at 12 below, northwest winds to 30 miles per hour. New snow accumulation after nightfall of another half an inch is possible. Sunday's weather, mostly sunny with a high of 19, wind chill at 13 below, with a northwest wind at 25 miles per hour. Sunday night, mostly clear skies, overnight low of 5 above, wind chills at 7 below. Monday, sunshine in 29. Tuesday, sunshine in 33. Tuesday night, a chance of snow after 8 p.m., mostly cloudy, overnight low of 20, calm wind, 40% chance of snow Tuesday night. 30% chance of snow during the day on Wednesday with a high near 37 degrees. And Wednesday night, another 30% chance of more snow until about 7 p.m. Partly cloudy skies, low around 21 degrees Wednesday night. Thursday, partly sunny skies at a high of 35. And Friday, mostly cloudy with a high of 34. Currently outside our Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio here on Park Avenue in Woonsocket, it's 25 degrees.
ON Radio.
ON AM and FM.
Good morning and welcome to the Cheap Seats with Pat and Kevin. I'm Kevin Callahan and I'm joined this morning by award-winning sports writer of the Blackstone Valley Call-Times, Brendan McGeer. Good morning, Brendan, and thank you for joining us.
Kevin, great to be here. You once again. It was great coming in here. Followed a Woonsocket DPW truck coming in. It was kind of like, maybe riding Santa's sleigh coming
Beautiful.
in. But, roads weren't an issue coming in.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Coming in, I come in from Mass, and I was going down 295. You couldn't drive in the far left-hand lane, and in the far right was also not that great. I went into Rhode Island, and kudos to the Rhode Island. All three lanes were wide open on 295, and 146 was fine. So, Rhode Island wins.
Rhode Island wins. I guess we're past that spring training phase.
Exactly.
Of how to deal with the snowstorm.
Exactly. So, I just want to start the show with as great an update as possible. Co-host Pat Holland, he got the call. He actually got the call twice. The second time it took. The second time he got the call, and Pat got his liver transplant. And everything went exceedingly well. Earlier this week, Pat got the news, and the surgery went unbelievably well. He's in great spirits. Talked to him the other day. We've been texting back and forth. As I'm sure he's been communicating with a lot of people this past week. He expects to come home today. It was originally going to be Sunday. They moved it up a day, so he'll be home and extra comfortable for the Super Bowl tomorrow. That's being played tomorrow, Brendan. So it's Pat, great news as well. Speaking to station owner Dave Richards, the technology's there. So you can video in for the show from home, either through your phone, a tablet, a computer, whatever you're comfortable with. Next week, talked to Dave about it this morning. He actually called me, and we spoke. And so just great news all around for Pat.
Someone who covered the Pawtucket Red Sox all those years, it's the equivalent would be maybe getting that call to get up to the big leagues for the first time. This is 100% better than that. Great news for Pat, and hopefully he'll be back on these airwaves soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to, before we hit the show, I'm actually going to take our first commercial break. We're going to go to break and come back. And then we're going to jump into the local scene, and then we're going to want to hear from you today. 401-766-1240. The Super Bowl is upon us right now, and there's so much out there. We got it. So we're gonna blast through the local. Then we're gonna hit a lot of Patriots. If there's some time at the end, maybe some Bruins and Celtics. But I have a feeling it might be all Patriots today. So we're gonna take our first break. When we come back here on In the Chief Seats, 1240 AM, 99.5 FM, and WoonsocketRadio.com. We'll be right back.
Your certified Buick GMC dealer serving drivers throughout Woonsocket and the surrounding areas is Tasca Buick GMC. At Tasca, you'll find a solid selection of new Buick GMC models, as well as a carefully inspected lineup of pre-owned vehicles. They also have a well-connected finance center run by a qualified team of finance experts who can help you get the right loan or lease in a quick, easy, and transparent manner. Tasca Buick GMC, 55 Fortin Drive, Woonsocket. Visit TascaBuickGMC.com. Tasca Buick GMC. You will be satisfied.
Lincoln and North Smithfield Urgent Care Centers are Northern Rhode Island's modern comprehensive urgent cares devoted to the best family health care available. They have board-certified doctors on their staff who will make you feel safe, comfortable, and reassured, especially when you're in doubt and concerned about the severity of your discomfort. Both centers feature on-site labs and x-ray facilities, as well as drug screens, complete physicals, flu shots, occupational medicine, including workers' comp and free blood screening. North Smithfield Urgent Care, 594 Great Road, North Smithfield, 768-3400. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 8 and Saturday 9 to 5. Lincoln Urgent Care, located across from Lincoln Mall, 333-9595. Open weekdays 9 to 9, Saturday and Sunday 9 to 5. You do have a choice.
The last thing you need is more stress. So at Micho's Auto Body, they handle the complete claim for you. Check their website to see the 13 actual steps they take to make your experience stress-free. You'll also see a complete photo gallery showing you the detailed and technical process necessary to accommodate new car construction and metallic paints. Micho's Auto Body, 430 Privilege Street, Woonsocket. 769-1983.
The world-class distributor of all things electrical is Electrical Wholesalers. They are a full-service electrical distributor with branches throughout Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Locally, they're at 113 Clinton Street next to KFC here in Woonsocket, with other locations in Cranston and Franklin, Massachusetts. Electrical Wholesalers provides the highest quality service to electrical contractors as well as residential, commercial, and industrial customers. Electrical Wholesalers is open Monday through Friday, 7 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. Visit ew-ne.com. Electrical Wholesalers.
We are local and live at 99.5.
And welcome back to the Cheap Seats with Pat and Kevin. I'm Kevin Callahan, joined by Brendan McGear in studio. And Brendan, how's it going? Before we jump into the whole local scene.
Yeah, it's going great. Busy time, whether it's college sports, high school. The playoffs are right around the corner, and exciting time. And Bruins, they're taking a little bit of a hiatus with the Olympics. The Celtics, made some wheeling and dealing at the trade deadline.
Exactly.
Spring training begins next week, but like we talked about right into the break, there's a big football game we're going to get to.
All right, so let's do the local report. Why don't you kick us off? What's going on at Lincoln High School?
Lincoln High School, they saw their 18-game winning streak come to an end at home last night against LaSalle Academy, 66-65. The Lions actually took the lead in the final 10 seconds on a Josh Bergeron 3, but coast-to-coast play by the Rams, layup at the buzzer, ended up giving LaSalle the victory, ended up being a one-point decision where Lincoln lost for the first time after starting 18-0. The good news is for Lincoln, they still keep their number one ranking as they head to the final week of the regular season. Lincoln plays their final 3 games before the playoffs, starting Monday hosting Cranston West, then Wednesday, the big one, a rematch against Barrington, and finishing home next Friday against Portsmouth.
Yeah, it was number 7. That never. So it's a hard week for them as well. And you got another accomplishment as well. To speak of.
Congratulations go out to North Smithfield senior Connor Riley for getting his 1,000th career point this past Thursday night against PCD. Did so in the third quarter, 7 seconds to go. Double team was just a little bit late there for PCD. So Connor, tall, lanky frame, able to elevate for a jump shot. Nailed it. And what the cool part was, he did it right in front of the student section, and the students, they stopped the game, and they just came running out onto the court.
I was fortunate enough up in Attleboro, two players this year just got their 1,000th point. My son Tim got to play with 2,000 point scores, and such a hard accomplishment because you need about that 200-point cushion as a freshman on varsity to get into it. You don't get that 200 points or so, 150 as a freshman. It's tough to get to 1,000 points.
The other thing was the students were really into it. They actually set up like a temporary ESPN booth in the corner. They were actually doing like a little play-by-play, put like an ESPN banner in the front of it, and
that's cool.
Did a post-game interview with them. So really cool to see how they really embraced this feat by Connor Riley.
Love the creativity. All right, to the campuses we go. We starting at Providence College. Men's basketball team with a double overtime thriller the other night over Butler, 97-87, improved their record to 10-13 on the season, 3-9 in the Big East. They are at home today at 4 o'clock, taking on DePaul. A similar record on the women's side is the Lady Friars have lost four in a row to drop to 10-14 overall, 3-10 in conference. They host Xavier tomorrow at 1 from Alumni Hall. And on the ice, junior Tanner Adams recorded a career-high 4 points as the number 7, yes, you heard that right, number 7 Providence College men's hockey team scores 6 unanswered goals, including 5 in the third period to defeat UNH 6-1 last night at the Whittemore Center up on campus of UNH. With the win, the Friars extend their winning streak to 8 games. In the win, freshman goalie, who's been in there for all 8 of those wins, Jack Parsons, proved a 9-1 in the season, a 1.98 goals against, and a 925 save percentage. They are at home tonight, hosting Vermont. On paper, should be another win for the Friars.
Should be a win. A lot of buzz about these Friars these days.
Hottest team in the country right now.
They had a all-star hockey game for high school last Sunday at Schneider Arena, and just the talk around wasn't exactly the play on the ice, but what the Friars are doing, the primary tenants of that building, just how they've been able to elevate their play and just shoot up those Hockey East standings.
And they're the leader of Hockey East right now, in first place all alone. At the top, I believe they're only top 10 team of Hockey East, unless UConn snuck in at 10. I'm not 100% sure. But BC's starting to play a little bit better as well. So Hockey East was struggling as a conference. PC leading the way now at number 7, and we'll see if they can sweep this weekend, if they can climb even higher.
And let's go across the city to College Hill at Brown, where the men's basketball team, they dropped to 7-14 overall and 1-7 the Ivy League after last night's 81-69 loss to Yale. They play at Harvard next Friday night. The Brown women, they're 12-7 overall, 4-3 in the Ivy, but they lost to Harvard last Saturday, 61-58. They host Yale today at 2 o'clock. And on the ice, Brown faced off against number 5 Quinnipiac, and things went about just as expected for the 4-18-1 Bears as they dropped a 9-1 decision on the road. They're back at it tonight at Princeton with a 7 p.m. puck drop.
It was 1-1. And then Quinnipiac said, that's enough of that. They scored 2 goals in 11 seconds, about a minute after Brown tied it up, and it went downhill from there. So, okay, down at URI, the Rams saw their 3-game win streak get stopped by Duquesne last week, 76-61 on the road. They are now 13-9 overall and 4-5 in the A-10. They play host to Richmond today at home at 2 o'clock. The Lady Rams, there's a bright spot. If you're looking for a bright spot outside of Connecticut, in New England, the Lady Rams just keep rolling. They are now 20-2 overall, a perfect 11-0 in conference, and have won 14 in a row. They continue to be knocking on the door of the top 25. Right now they're sitting at 27. They play next, host tomorrow at noon, hosting St. Louis. Should they beat St. Louis tomorrow when the new polls come out Monday, they got to crack the top 25 now.
You know what they're doing? They're doing this.
Yeah, they're knocking.
They're knocking loudly.
They're banging now on the door.
Very, very rare that you see a team this time of year get 3 straight home games too. So that was
a good point.
It was, so the opportunity is there for them to take care of business home and kind of solidify their resume going into March.
Absolutely. Good time for them as well.
And we'll go up to Smithfield, where the men's basketball team at Bryant, they are now 7-16 overall, 3-6 in the conference after losing a tough one at home at the Chase Athletic Center to the University of Albany on Thursday, dropping a 65-63 decision. They host Maine today in a rematch of last year's America East Championship game, 4 p.m. The Bryant women doing a little bit better. They are 16-7 overall. They are up in Maine today, so hopefully safe travels going up there and coming back.
Yeah, good point. It's 3 to 5 inches, I think they call them, 3 to 6. So yeah, they're used to it up in Maine. The roads are fine. So.
Should note that the Maine Black Bears, the men's team, they're coming off a huge home win against Vermont on Thursday night.
Oh, nice. All right. Back speaking of the ice, forward Georgi Merkulov tallied twice in the Providence Bruins 3-1 victory over the Hartford Wolfpack on Friday night last night at the Amp. Matthew Potras, coming back from Boston, where he had a nice little stadium run, little Florida series. He did pretty well. Recorded 2 assists, while defenseman Frederick Brunette also found the back of the net. Goaltender Michael DiPietro stopped 28 shots during the victory. Providence Bruins 34-8-1 on the season. It's just incredible what they've done this year. They're at Hartford tonight at 7.
So one thing you should say, like we mentioned at the top, that we're having an Olympic break for the NHL. If you're looking to satisfy that pro hockey fix, you picked the perfect solution. Go see them at the AMP.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and they're going to win, most likely. The New England Lightning of the ABA, they saw their 13-game win streak come to an end. Still ranked 8th in the ABA out of 130 teams. They have 5 games left before the playoffs begin. 2 of those games are at home tonight at 6 versus Hartford, and 2 weeks from tonight when they host Dover. I believe that's Delaware. Could be New Hampshire. I'm not 100% sure. I should look into that. I know they don't travel too far.
No, they don't travel, but
it's not over England.
No, it's a regional. It's a regional.
Yes, matchup
schedule
for sure. Though they have traveled to Vermont. Anyway, both games are at 6 o'clock. The regular season ends March 1st. Then the playoffs. We may meet up with Paul Rogers just to get an update on how the playoffs and how they look going into the playoffs. So, but here we are in the Chiefs season. It's Super Bowl Sunday. It's I didn't allow myself to get all psyched up for until about 2 or 3 days ago. Then it kind of hit me. Let's go. It's like the week off and everything. But
I think when you get to maybe the midway point of the second week, you're almost like, we're done talking about the game. We're done breaking things down. The nuances and everything. Let's just kick it off.
Here we go, and let's kick it off. Let's go to the phone lines right now. And welcome to the Cheap Seats.
Good morning, men. How are you today?
Good. How are you, Marty?
Doing well. I'm glad to see that Brendan got the Doug Mirabelli treatment by the Woonsocket Public Works Department.
I certainly did, Marty. I certainly appreciate it, and it was, dashing through the snow, and was able to get that last little push there. Consider with the help of the sanitation units out there.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness! First, it's great news about Pat.
It's fantastic.
Thoughts and prayers for recovery for him, and
yes.
Great guy, and hope wishing him all the best in a speedy recovery.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I know he appreciates that as well.
So, Marty, kind of a big news recently. New baseball coach at Cumberland, Matt Allard, got the appointment. Just how excited are you for the opportunity? And probably even more important, a couple of alums coming back to be part of his coaching staff.
Yeah, it was a very... Listen, we were fortunate where we had multiple candidates who were very qualified we could pick from, Brendan. A lot of guys with local knowledge, a lot of baseball background, but the 7-person committee deemed that, Matt, with his experience and his ties to the baseball community, was the perfect fit, and nothing but positive reviews so far, and, hit the ground running, and the next day we were talking about scrimmages and scheduling, and so he knew the landscape as well. We're excited, though. He has Joey Mollis, who played out of Bridgewater State alum, and Addison Kopak. So, Addie played a little pro ball.
Yeah.
Was drafted by the Padres. And, you were there at that first meeting when he met the team, and, he's excited to get going and setting the tone right away. So, and it's always good to have alumni come back and coach, no matter where you're at, because they wore that uniform, they understand the pride in the program, and they realize what it takes to be successful.
Yeah, it's so cool. And speaking of alums coming back and being successful, we should give a shout out to the Cumberland boys basketball team, Tyler Calabro. They've enjoyed a little bit of an upswing here, Marty. I know they had a tough game on Monday against Smithfield, but bounced back Thursday night against North Kingstown, and with another win last night against Burwell. It's been a nice little surge here, and you go back to their game against Lincoln, where they gave the Lions all they could handle. But since then, it's been a defensive calling card for this group, and it's allowed them to climb up the standings.
Yeah, good point. They've won 5 out of their last 6. They're keeping teams in the 40s, and no matter what sport you play, keep somebody in the 40s in basketball, you're going to be successful. And even the Smithfield game, even though it was a loss, it was a great high school basketball game, just like that Lincoln loss, Brendan. But you were there and you hit on it that the light kind of went on that, hey, we can compete with these guys. We can play with the best team in the state. Obviously, you mentioned at the top of the show, Lincoln did lose last night. But you know what? If I'm a coach, I'm okay with that, because I don't want that 0 sitting there. Let them put a 1 there. Not that the target's off your back, but it's not when if or could if. So moving forward. But, yeah, Cal's groups, they're playing well. Bartle, very gritty team. They played a lot of games this week. We were going back-to-back, 3rd and 4 nights. But that time of the year, that's what happens with postponements and scheduling.
Yeah, 3 games next week for the Clippers to close things out. 2, a rematch with North Kingstown, with 2 games against 2 Providence schools, with Classical and Central. So definitely be a good test for the Clippers going into the postseason.
Yeah, it will be. They're playing well. They're getting contributions from everybody. Our girls team has also won 5 out of 6. Another nice win on the road last night for Coach LeBlanc and the girls. Defeating Hope, always a tough place to play on the road. It's always 8 million degrees in that gym. It's one of those old radiator-on-the-wall gyms, and no matter what the temperature is, it seems to be warm in there. But also on tap, don't forget, next Saturday at the PCTA, the state meet and track. You guys mentioned playoffs are coming, so everybody's winding down. But track, they're the class meets last weekend at the PCTA, and a week off. Last chance meet has been pushed to tomorrow. And states next week. So it's an exciting time of the year for all education-based athletic programs.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I don't want to look too far ahead into the spring, Marty, but let's face it, we look outside now, we've seen the snow on the ground for 2 weeks straight almost, and you wonder, hopefully fields are going to be okay when spring rolls around, when March rolls around. March 16th, they believe is the first day for spring practice. Any concern at this point, or are we kind of jumping the gun?
It's in the back of our minds. It's sitting there. The more snow piles on the ground, it saturates the ground. It seeps in. Now, if we get any rain on top of that, of the snow, it's going to make it worse. And even for Kevin and Attleboro, right? They have turf, but irregardless, the snow can't go anywhere.
Exactly.
Whether you have turf or whether you have grass. And I drive by Tucker every day on the way into school, and I look, and I'm like, I can't see anything but white. So we're a couple weeks away.
My son Marty has his first baseball game 2 weeks from today up in Boston. What do you think? Gonna happen?
If they get a dome, they can maybe pull it off.
Tough doors.
might be a good idea for a community service project, Marty. Get some kids out there to start shoveling.
Sure, clear the track with some shovels, get some snow blowers. Actually, we did one year, Brendan. We did bring a bunch of the girls out to the pit to try to shovel some of it off when we had those back-to-backs, and the snow was up to people's waist. It was like we were climbing Mount Everest. It took us like an hour to walk from the school to the pit to try to shovel. And after like 10 minutes, we said, "Yeah, we're all set. We're not going to make a dent in this," and we get out of there.
Marty, Cumberland being so close to Foxborough, just, what was the mood inside the school hallways this week, knowing that the local football team is playing for the Super Bowl on Sunday?
Oh, awesome. It was excellent. Mr. Costa, the principal yesterday, was wear your favorite team jersey day. And so a lot of Pats jerseys. There were a couple of kids who wore Jets jerseys. I don't know why. Yeah, actually, Chase Manchillo, our backup soccer goalie on a varsity team, big Jets fan. He's a good kid. Some Phil Rivers jerseys were floating around yesterday, and of course, there's always the Miami Dolphin jerseys where, hey, listen, kids root for their teams. But yeah, it was awesome. Everybody's in a lot of the Pats game yesterday, hoping for a victory tomorrow.
What do you think? You think they got a chance? I know you predicted a blowout 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Hey, they won though. They won.
They won. Listen, I know that all the national pundits have underrated them. Mm-hmm. They got here for a reason, and Tom Brady finally came out and is wishing RKK well. So
he's wishing him well now, is he?
He could come off his mountain, but. Pats it'll be a tight game. Pats will win 28-24.
All right, I like it. I like the prediction. All right, Marty, thank you so much. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. What?
No problem. Once again, shout out to Brendan. Yep. He's out at all these games. He covers AP stuff, but he's still a local guy, and he goes everywhere. And shout out to you, Brendan, for your continued coverage.
Appreciate it, Marty. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right, bye, Marty. Marty Crowley, the athletic director from Cumberland High, joining us in the cheap seats. And, all right, he brought it up, so let's just jump right into it. Tom Brady, I didn't catch that he wished RKK, Mr. Kraft.
I missed that as well.
I missed that. My initial thing on no dog in the fight, I didn't jump too deep into it mentally at first. I'm like, okay, he's a Fox analyst.
And a Raider part owner.
And a Raider part owner, so I wasn't thinking all that much. And then I hear, Asante Samuel, Vince Wilfork. Then I'm just monitoring my own social media. Wow, I missed the boat. I mean, people are legitimately mad. And the more I thought about it, I think they had a little right to be.
Well, I go back to, last summer he gets a statue dedicated at Gillette Stadium. The year before, the previous June, I know this because I was up there that night. It was Game 4, I think, of the NBA Finals against the Mavericks. It's his own night there at Gillette Stadium. Like, all of a sudden, it's like, the Patriots have really, I think, gone out of their way to celebrate his legacy.
Right.
And for him to kind of like say, "Oh, I have no dog in the fight," it kind of was like, I'm just going to poo-poo where I spent my 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby Orr's got a dog in the fight. He's rooting for the Bruins. David Ortiz openly mocks Yankee fellow ex-Yankees Derek Jeter and A-Rod in the set when the Yankees lose. For Brady, I don't think it would have been a problem if Brady had just said, "Yeah, I spent 20 years of my career there. I won 6 Super Bowls. We beat the Seahawks when I was there." His friend is Mike. Should I call him Verbal or Vrabel?
Oh, that's another story altogether. Right? That's what an embarrassment for the NFL the other night.
You got one job. Sorry, going off topic.
Yes.
We can go back to that in a second, Mike Verbal. Oh my gosh. But
what a stir it caused.
Yeah, it's true. So on Brady, all he has to say is, my heart is better than New England, always is in New England. I guess if Tampa Bay was playing them, maybe I have a tougher fight, tougher mindset. Do you have any thoughts on this? 401-766-1240. We want to hear from you if you have any thoughts on the Tom Brady, no dog in the fight. I miss the whole. He wishes the owner well. I don't even know what that means.
It could be like we're trying to soothe the Savage Beast after not, Robert Kraft not getting the Hall of Fame this week.
Absolutely, we'll talk about that as well. But let's go to the phone lines. And welcome to the Cheap Seats.
Good morning, Kevin.
Hey, good morning, Moose. Say hi to Brendan.
Oh, hi, Brendan. How you doing? How's Pat doing, by the way?
Pat's doing great. He got a liver transplant earlier this week. He's in. It's doing very well, and he's coming home today from Mass General. So all systems a go for Pat. It's great.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yep.
So what's with him?
Yep.
Let's get to some sports. I just listen to Blue and Marty, of course, as I call him Blue. But I'm not into. I don't follow high school sports like you guys do because you're supposed to. I mean, you're in a local area.
Right.
You're along those lines, along with Marty, who's a baseball coach at Cumberland, and you guys follow high school football very closely.
Yep.
But that's something I don't delve into much. Of course, delve into everything else with all kind of sports. So let's get to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Or maybe we should save that for last, but I don't want to take too much of your time. I don't know if you have another call online waiting. But I wanted to make a comment on the NBA.
NBA. Okay.
Yeah, on the NBA. And we've gone over this before, that we don't like the NBA. And I think
I don't mind it. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah, well, okay. Not your favorite,
but I watch it. It's just not my favorite. It's fourth on my list, behind hockey, baseball, and football, which flip flops between 1 and 3 depending on the season.
So it is for me. It's fourth on my list. If the Celtics were not playing well, I would not be following this.
That's fair.
There's too many other sports. NCAA. I love NCAA college ball. I love it. And of course, hockey's so popular in this area, and of course the Red Sox, and now we're up to the pedestal over here with the Pats. But I noticed one thing with the NBA. This is going on for years. Is that you've never seen this before. Everybody plays angry. They're angry. They don't play with the spirit of the game, laughing or enjoying the games. They're always ticked off, or the gestures and the unsportsmanlike conduct that they display. It's incredible, and the refs don't call it. They let them get away with it. I think it's a bad example, Kevin.
Yeah.
For the younger generation, they look at this, and certainly they're going to copy it. They're going to copy it. Yeah. And, let's hear it. All kind of hand gestures and stuff like that.
Well, I do think in the NBA it's a little bit more individualistic than the other games. Football, the ultimate team game. Hockey, the ultimate team game as well. I think in basketball they do break it down to a little bit more individualistic, and therefore they celebrate their individual accomplishments. I think just a little bit more so than in the other sports. You just covered it, 1,000 points on a local high school kid. They celebrate it, but it's a great accomplishment too.
The NBA players, they do this almost every basket, for crying out loud, like they're spectacular. They overplay everything. They look at me, after every single little basket, and I don't like that.
Well,
I think that spoils the game.
Moose, let me jump in for 1 minute. I do think we have to realize it's entertainment too, and they're also trying to appeal to the crowd and get the crowd engaged. Last night I was up at the
while doing so, I understand, but while doing so, they enable the crowd to. If your son's in sports or anybody in the crowd, they're going to emulate them. They are. So if they're a nice guy, they get on the court or something like that, their character's going to change.
Well, I think it's also a life lesson for young kids, too. And maybe, they watch these games and maybe they're sitting down with their parents and saying, why is so-and-so doing that out there? Well, he shouldn't be doing that. That's maybe a good teachable moment for a parent when they sit down and watch games with their kids about, what is the correct way to display sportsmanship out there.
Yeah. When you see what's on display,
it's a long
it's bad.
subject. Yeah, it's a long subject, but I just don't think it's ideal the way they conduct themselves.
Yeah. All right, so Moose, what are your thoughts on the Super Bowl before we let you go?
There's one thing that I followed yesterday, day before, on VEASAN, and it's called Follow the Money. You must have heard of the program.
I've heard of it. I don't. I'm not. I've heard of it, but I know the title. But it's
on every day from 4 to 7 on Nessun Plus.
Oh, okay.
And it stems from Las Vegas.
Okay.
But Sal Palantonio, he's a writer. You must have heard of him.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah. He brought up something the other day and he said this is the first time I'm going to reveal it to anybody on TV. He said the last 3 out of the last 4 games between the Patriots and the Seahawks all ended up on the 1-yard line.
That's interesting.
Whoa! Time out. Let me check this out.
That's interesting. So
I know there is I know there's a prop bet out there. The Seahawks going to throw inside the 5-yard line tomorrow.
But I checked it out, Pat. Kevin, I checked it out. And it's true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't just say something like that on a national stage. So what's your prediction for the game, Moose?
I think the Patriots defense are going to step up. I think this is going to be I love the under in this game.
A lot of people do.
45.5.
Yeah.
It's the under and over. Look, everybody's got their own theories and everything. I think the Patriots defense will be the deciding factor in this game.
All right, so there you have it.
17-13.
17-13, I'll take it. All right, Moose, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the game tomorrow.
You as well.
All right, go
Bye-bye.
Pats. The Mighty Moose joining us. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue on the Patriots, probably for the rest of the show. You're in the Chief Seats with Pat and Kevin, joined today by Brendan McGeer. We'll be right back on 99.5 FM, 1240 AM, OneSoccerRadio.com. Okay, welcome back to the Cheap Seats with Pat Cameron. I'm joined by Brendan McGeer. All right, so Moose says 17-13. Let's get into it.
I think it's going to be a little bit more high scoring than that. I could see both teams getting into the 20s. Kevin, I think one thing about this Patriots during the postseason, they haven't played their best game offensively.
No, they have not.
And maybe that has to do with the defenses they played. To give credit to the Chargers, the Texans, and the elements out in Denver. Could we see maybe finally all the pieces put together for Drake May and this offense, where maybe they won't have to rely on a defense that has really carried the ball here during the playoffs?
Right. Oh, exactly. I mean, one of the things I noticed 2 weeks ago with Drake May, I thought he was holding on, almost gripped the ball on one of his throws too much, and I didn't know if that was the shoulder, but he's been cleared on the shoulder, so hopefully the offense will fire on all cylinders. I do think if all the offensive guys are healthy right now for the Patriots, I think they just got more weapons than Seattle does, who are relying on Smith-Njigba. I just heard this the other day. He's got double the targets of Cooper Kupp. So if the Patriots can focus on Smith-Njigba, and the Vikings were able to shut him down in one of the games, granted they lost that game, but would that be the way to go?
Yeah, it's once again, what could be very interesting about this game, Drake May.
Right.
Like we said, he's been a full participant the whole week after popping up on the injury report last week.
Right.
That shouldn't be a concern. My concern is maybe somebody like Robert Spillane, who was kind of emerged, I thought, as the heart and soul of this defense. You saw when he missed some games late in the season, how just important he is out there. And he was injured, I believe, in the AFC Championship game against Denver. He's listed officially as questionable for tomorrow with an ankle injury. So we'll see what his status is. But I think it all comes down to somebody like Barmore, Milton Williams. Can you control that line of scrimmage?
That's if they put pressure on Sam Darnold right away, force him to throw the ball. The big thing that they were saying all week, will Sam Darnold revert back to Sam Darnold, the C and the ghost from a couple of years ago? Is that still in him? Because he has had a tremendous postseason so far.
But also, too, on the flip side, that Patriots offensive line, I forgot what the total is, how many sacks they've allowed during this play.
I think it's 15.
That's a little bit concerning.
That is very concerning. The left side has not been great. A couple times I said, do you design plays that roll out to the right? That cuts off half the field, but gives the left side a little bit more time to get the block down and free up Drake May, to give him a little bit more time to hit his targets up the field.
And, we also, sometimes in a game like this, a high-stakes game, it might come down to creative play calling, where we might see something a little bit out of the box here. And no better, offensive coordinator to maybe have in that position than Josh McDaniels in my book.
And his experience of doing this, not only doing so well with Drake throughout the course of the year, but his experience in the Super Bowl and his experience playing tight Super Bowls. I don't think he's going to be fazed by the moment. I don't think he's going to allow Drake May to be fazed by the moment, especially after you get through that first drive. What do you think on that? Yeah.
And also maybe to ease Drake May into this game, maybe you got to feature the tight ends, whether it's Hooper or Hunter Henry.
That's another piece I love. Though I'm a little bit concerned with Hunter Henry. He's had some drops the last couple of weeks. That's concerned me a bit, but I do think he's a great, the great binky for Drake May. He's there. He's usually open. I like how they use Austin Hooper.
I believe Hunter Henry, they just had a child, I believe, with his wife. So could be some dad strength coming into play here.
There you go. So and the returning to the field 2 weeks ago, Mac Hollins. That
huge return, because just that physical wide receiver presence, someone who can go over the middle and get those tough catches. You're going to need that tomorrow.
And he's just nuts enough to go anywhere on the field that they need him to. He'll make the catch. His hands are good. I haven't heard anything on him on the injury report.
He's not on here. He didn't pop up here on the one that they released last night.
Right. So that's great. So just on the Patriot side, just Spillane and I think Harold Landry Is that accurate?
So you have
last night's injury
Josh
report?
Farmer, Harold Landry, and Robert Spillane all listed as questionable tomorrow.
And that all that means is that they were limited in what they could do in practice yesterday. They may have missed a play or two while they practiced. That's all limited means, right?
That's all it means. And also, too, at this time of year, there's a lot of maintenance going on.
Yes, it's the 20th game of the season, going back to the preseason and everything, all the training, all the all-season workouts, everything. And that's what Drake May was kind of saying about his shoulder as well. He's like, I've never thrown this much, not for this long in the season. So a ton of maintenance. So
I guess Logan Airport was pretty busy yesterday with a lot of Pats fans flying out.
That's an expensive flight. So we'll see if the cheap seats. We're still waiting at Green Airport for our ticket out to San Francisco.
The airplane ticket was the cheapest of the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Cheapest thing.
Yeah, exactly. So let's take a quick break. When we come back, we want to hear from you, 401-766-1240. And you can join us in the cheap seats with Pat and Kevin on 99.5 FM, 1240 AM, and woonsockeradio.com. We'll be right back.
Bringing over 3 decades of experience to every home improvement project, Moran Corporation, formerly A.J. Moran, combined traditional craftsmanship with modern techniques to deliver results that stand the test of time. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 to 5, Moran Corporation has seasoned firewood for just $165 for half a cord and $300 for a full cord of wood. And what better place to put that firewood than a new fireplace made out of veneer stone with granite mantles. Contact Jack Moran at 781-267-8920 for information about these fireplaces, firewood, and other home improvement ideas, or visit their new website at morancorporation.com. As always, Moran Corporation continues transforming your property with expert hardscaping.
Your certified Buick GMC dealer serving drivers throughout Woonsocket and the surrounding areas is Tasca Buick GMC. At Tasca, you'll find a solid selection of new Buick GMC models, as well as a carefully inspected lineup of pre-owned vehicles. They also have a well-connected finance center run by a qualified team of finance experts who can help you get the right loan or lease in a quick, easy, and transparent manner. Tasca Buick GMC, 55 Fortin Drive, Woonsocket. Visit TascaBuickGMC.com. Tasca Buick GMC. You will be satisfied.
Woonsocket Door Sales can handle any kind of door installation, including residential and commercial, paying special attention to your door's infrastructure, such as framework repair, to ensure that your door is firmly in place. Woonsocket Door Sales is a 4th-generation family business, installing and repairing all types of doors. Please visit their website at woonsocketdoorsales.com to see a gallery of door styles, manufacturers, and testimonials from satisfied customers. Woonsocket Door Sales, 767-3448. Call Amy Bebo at 767-3448.
State Line Service and Tire Center is a full-service vehicle maintenance and repair center, including computerized engine analysis, wheel alignment, emission testing, exhaust, and more. Their ASE-certified technicians use only quality parts to maintain your manufacturer's warranty. Regular maintenance is important. Remember to check your tires for pressure and wear. If you need tires, State Line will shop for you to get the best possible price, and they welcome any questions you may have about maintaining your vehicle. State Line Service and Tire Center at 1209 Social Street, Woonsocket at the City Line. 765-0146.
If you want your yard to be the envy of the neighborhood, then you need to contact Rosato & Sons of Westboro. They've been turning outdoor visions into reality across Massachusetts for more than 37 years. From custom patios, walkways, and outdoor kitchens to low-maintenance water features and landscape lighting. Looking for routine lawn maintenance, irrigation, or seasonal color? Rosato & Sons has you covered. They are a full-service landscaping firm doing it all in-house for unmatched quality and reliability. When you're ready to elevate your outdoor living, visit rosatoandsons.com to request your free estimate. Rosato & Sons of Westboro, where beautiful landscapes aren't an expense, they're an investment.
If you're celebrating a major event, regardless of the reason, Michael's Meats of Cumberland can elevate your next meal from ordinary to extraordinary with meats so good your guests will ask you where you got them. Tell them Michael's Meats. Michael's Meats is in the Walgreens parking lot on Mendon Road in Cumberland, just north of the Ciabro Plaza. They're open Monday through Saturday at 9 a.m., making your next meal truly special. Here's this this week's specials at Michael's Meats.
And this week's special at Michael's Meats. Do you have enough party wings for the big game tomorrow?
Never enough wings.
Never enough wings. 40-minute halftime. You know who has a Michael's Meats? Fresh grade A party chicken wings.
Something to throw at the screen when Bad Bunny's on.
I have a nice TV. I don't want people to ruin my TV. But they're just $177 a pound at Michael's Meats.
So maybe we should talk about plans to watch the game, like food, things like that. At least I know with my group, we have appetizers, things like that. Then we sit down and have a nice dinner at halftime, where we put on the halftime show on a TV in a dining room. So it's kind of like it's a cool experience. I mean, everyone's different. They might start early, get the chicken wings going and whatever, the dip, the guacamole, whatever it is, the nachos. Everyone's different in terms of how they enjoy the game.
No, that's a great point. I mean, we tell people 3 o'clock, so they'll be there by 4, so we have all the squares done by 6. It's the well-oiled machine now. We used to have two viewings. We had the family room with the little kids downstairs, and that was, especially with the Patriots playing in all the Super Bowls, the more adult words were in the upstairs room.
Well, now your kids are a little bit older.
Now the kids are all older, so everyone's kind of like going
upstairs
to what we call our frog, the family room over the garage. To be fair, I really haven't watched a halftime show since U2. Yes, I miss Janet Jackson. That's probably the only one I'm disappointed at. Missing that one. Bad Bunny's performing. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I mean, it'll be on, because I'm not going to change the channel. But then I use that time to go get, some more chili, some more wings, some more hamburger sliders.
So usually we grill. And, I suggested, it's going to be, 0 degrees tomorrow?
It's going to be a little chilly.
I'd rather stick with the chili inside than going outside and grilling. So we made the call to go to Luigi's.
Oh, nice.
For some nice takeout.
Yeah, no, it's everyone brings something, and there's always more than enough food. It is funny though, I noticed one year when right after the Patriots game, I looked out my back window out on South Main Street, Route 152, and all of a sudden there's a huge traffic jam. Like everybody left their watch parties at the same time, so it gets to be pretty funny as everybody's like, okay, it's 10 o'clock, gotta go.
I think it's cool to hear stories about how people get together. Maybe what's their favorite side dish, what are they serving, and just enjoying the game, but also do so safely, folks. That's, that's
absolutely.
That's an important reminder. Do so, enjoy it, but also, do so in a responsible manner,
respectful manner. So, and one good thing I heard, next year Super Bowl is going to be on President's Day weekend, so I think they've been angling towards that for a long time. It's not a major holiday, but it's the closest thing you're going to get to a major holiday that they can go up against, because they're not going to move the game back to Saturday, but if they can get it on a 3-day weekend, I think that'd be great for the NFL. I know I like having the day off after the Super Bowl. It's just, you're tired.
You're very tired
from staying up all night. Hey, all right. I got a question for you. Not my brother Joe, but my brother Bill brought this up. Take away the logistics of the calendar. We had a week off last week. Now we had the outdoor series, which was nice. But in keeping with the football theme, he suggested, and I couldn't come up with a reason not to, having the NCAA National Championship Sunday night, 6:30, in between Conference Sunday and the National Championship. I know the NCAA playoffs go ridiculously long, but I'm thinking, it's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
I mean, there's no. I think there's a lot of people think that there's no such thing as too much football.
Yeah.
Whether it's pro or college, I do feel like the postseason for college football, it just goes on way too long. It reminds me of the 1AA playoffs, where I think they had their championship games over MLK weekend, which is traditional for them. They always have like multiple rounds. They do it some rounds before Christmas, and then they resume after the Christmas break.
And I do understand the calendar could be an issue. You'd have to start the college football season later, because you don't want to keep adding weeks to the college football playoff system.
And also, there's other thing to consider now, though, the advent of how important the transfer portal is, because we saw this with Ole Miss in terms of Lane Kiffin. He leaves to go LSU. A lot of his coaches are still coaching at Ole Miss. They go deep into the playoffs. They went to the semifinals. It kind of you're going back and forth a little bit in terms of coaching your team in a prominent spot, oh, by the way, you have a new job waiting for you at LSU. You have responsibilities here, especially hitting the transfer portal. I think, it would be great, obviously, from a fan perspective. From a coaching perspective, it would be very tough for college
football. From the NCAA, from the coaches, even for the players, I think it would be tough how you manage, because you're halfway through the spring semester right now, or almost halfway through the spring semester. You're getting into it anyway. You're in the first third. But from a fan, to go from conference championship, which is one of the best Sundays in football, to the college championship on a Sunday at 6:30. Same time that the Super Bowl starts, which is better than Monday at 7:30 when people are just kind of like done with it. Anyway, the West Coast will be happy. You never hear anyone complaining on the West Coast about a 3:30 Super Bowl Sunday start time. They won't complain about a 3:30 start time on a Sunday. I think from a fan point of view, and my brother very rarely has any good ideas. So I'm like, I couldn't come up with one other than the logistics that you just brought up. But from a fan point of view,
I think it's a
pretty cool idea.
But I think just from recruiting calendar and things like that, where it's a long season, guys are all of a sudden, I think they're already shifted a little bit to spring ball.
Yeah,
there are teams right now working out. They might not be physically on the field, but they're in the weight room conditioning right now. I bet if you go to Indiana right now, they're in the weight room right now, and they just won the national championship.
Oh, exactly. No, that stuff never ends. Spring sports have started. BC played Duke in softball the other day, so I get it. You've already rolled into spring sports, but with just the way the NCAA has just changed so much, these guys aren't even enrolled in the college.
I think the one day, if you want to change anything, you would have to think about those conference championship games. But they are, in general, what people say, they are money makers.
Yeah,
where you really can't take those away. If you want to take away that week, and maybe bump up the playoffs by then, but
you'd have to adjust the whole schedule. I get it. The logistics would just be a nightmare because they start in August. The second to last week or the last week of August?
There's week 0 is maybe before Labor Day.
Before Labor Day, and in the South, that's when the kids are starting to go back to school anyway, because you want to get it when the kids are in college too. And it's tough, but it's just. Again, we were lucky last week. If you're a hockey fan, they had the outdoor series, the Bruins and Lightning, 6:30 start time. That ended up, being great because it killed the Sunday in between the conference championship and the Super Bowl. But if you're a football fan, that's not a bad idea. They used to have the Pro Bowl sometimes within that week. But again, do you know that they ran the Pro Bowl on Tuesday night?
They did. It was a flag football game too.
Do you know anybody that watched it? Did you even tune in?
I think I saw it on for 2 seconds. I was like,
I didn't even see that.
I saw a pass to CD Lamb, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And then I flipped off to something else.
Yeah, I mean, where was it played?
It was out in San Francisco, actually. I think they played it at they found some, turf field, and they just made it part of they're making that part of the Super Bowl experience, I guess.
Oh, I mean, the whole Tuesday night thing, I don't know, just...
Well, I think they didn't want to conflict with the NFL Honors, which was Thursday night, so they probably want to just, if you want to get into that briefly.
So another question. First of all right, I have several questions on that. Is that the first time they broadcast?
No, I think they've done that the last couple of years. That's kind of like
it was on NBC this year.
It was on NFL Network, and and all of a sudden, it's become a big deal. It's red carpet, everything. Yeah. They think that the Grammys are the Emmys at this point.
It's a terrible production, if you ask me, because it was a 2-hour show that could have been done in about a half an hour.
And they're giving out awards that I really didn't. They gave Lineman of the Year, and there was a lot of. Yeah. I guess you got to fill that 2-hour window somehow.
Yeah, and then the guys were walking on a fashion show. I mean, I didn't enjoy it, but I was looking forward to Coach of the Year MVP announcement, and I couldn't have been more thrilled. They had Mike Vrabel got Coach of the Year. You might know him as Mike Vrabel, but the presenter who had one job, it's their only presentation, Mike Vrabel. Come on,
I said it twice too.
She said
twice.
We were too busy mocking her the first time. She said it again.
Said it again.
Oh my gosh.
Mike Vrabel. The way that she just said it was, she just emphasized it. I was like, ooh.
You got one job. It was just terrible. But congratulations to Mike Vrabel. I would not have been disappointed if Liam Cohen made it just Rhode Island's own. We had Josh Lima on the show a couple of weeks ago. It was a great connection there. And also, deserving of what he did in Jacksonville. I'm thrilled that Vrabel got it.
The one thing I will take away, because it ended up being a 1 vote difference between Matthew Stafford and Drake May for MVP.
Yeah.
Votes for Justin Herbert.
1 for Herbert, and 2 for Josh Allen.
I could see Josh Allen. I could maybe buy that, but Justin Herbert.
Maybe, yeah. Who voted for Herbert?
I don't know. It was some.
I mean, I know you never know who votes on these things. So, that clearly took a vote away. For Drake, and
it reminded me of 1999. I'm going back in time when Brandon McGee was a younger lad. You must remember the 1999 AL MVP discussion. I think.
Oh, that was Mo Vaughn.
No, that was Pud Rodriguez and Pedro Martinez.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm thinking of the
and I
Mo
believe
Vaughn
there was
versus,
a Yankee voter who covered the Yankees for the New York Post, George King, voted for Pudge Rodriguez, and it ended up being the deciding vote, I believe, that prevented Pedro Martinez from getting the MVP that year. So it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, like a throwaway vote, so to speak.
Well, and I was thinking of the Mo Vaughn versus Albert Bell. When Bell had the numbers just to be Vaughn, but nobody liked Albert.
Nobody liked him.
So Vaughn got the MVP
year. in the court of public opinion, there was no way that Albert Bell was going to get the MVP.
Not at all. So yeah, I was surprised. I was even surprised that Josh Allen got 2. I didn't think he had that great of a year. He had a good year. I'm not surprised that Stafford got MVP. I understand he threw a lot of balls from inside the 5. Prop bet for tomorrow. But 47 touchdowns. What's that about? 15 more than Drake threw.
He had the stats in that regard, but
right.
I also thought he had better receivers to throw to Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams.
Yeah, you're right. No, I would have been thrilled for Drake May. I just wasn't surprised. Just the number. I think just the sheer number of touchdowns that Stafford threw. Though you could argue Drake May, I think, ran for 8 touchdowns and Stafford didn't run for any. So that closed the gap against common opponents. Drake May was 6-0. Stafford was 4-2. So there's that piece of it. Obviously, Drake May's still playing.
But once again, it just shows how Tom Brady still dominates the conversation. This goes back to a few weeks ago. Like, people are going to vote for Matthew Stafford because of maybe his age. This is his last opportunity to win the MVP. Drake May's he's 23. He's got a lot more opportunities.
He's obviously going to play to 45 like Tom Brady did. Right?
Exactly. So, but I think once again, I think Brady said that a few weeks ago, and we should say that his remarks that we talked about, they're on the Jim Gray podcast, Let's Go.
Yeah.
Which is another production altogether.
Jim Gray and Tom Brady, they're like the Siamese twins out there.
It's the only time you hear Bill Belichick almost like happy.
Yeah.
When he goes on that program.
Yeah.
So it was, but I think once again it goes back to Brady planting that seed. Like, Drake May's 23. He's got a lot more opportunities ahead of him. Well,
right.
In theory he does, but you never know.
Not either. He might have a setback year. Might have an injury. Who knows? You can't base it on someone's age. You just base it on their stats. I do have an update. ESPN.com. Tom Brady to Patriots Bob Kraft. Quote: "No, I got your back." I still don't know what that means, but I guess that means he's
very vague in that regard.
That's very, very vague on the Tom Brady.
He must have gotten word that maybe a statue was coming down.
Yeah, the cover over a big tarp over it or whatever. So, and congratulations. I was disappointed that Kraft didn't get in the Hall of Fame. I think he deserves it. As much as I care about owners getting into the Hall of Fame, I'm like, whatever. They just got a lot of money.
It's a billionaires boys club in my book.
Exactly. I was disappointed Belichick didn't get in. We covered that last week. Absolutely thrilled for Adam Vinatieri.
The clutch kicker of this generation.
Absolutely. They hit that 46-yarder in the snow, the 48-yarder to beat the Rams all in the same year. Someone brought up a great point. Without
kick against the Carolina Panthers, which almost gets overlooked a little bit.
Overlooked. You know what? I think that might get overlooked a bit is because he missed 2 in that game. So I wonder if that gets overlooked a bit because of that. But he did hit the game-winning field goal. And someone brought up a great point on Vinatieri, and it's a great play on words too. Vinatieri really kick-started the Patriots dynasty. He doesn't make the kick against Oakland. Never mind. They don't even get to the Super Bowl, and then that's a 48-yarder.
I think a lot of people, like you said, they talk about Mo Lewis, the hit on Drew Bledsoe that really kickstarted the dynasty.
Yeah.
If Adam Vinatieri does not hit that kick in the snow, There might not be a dynasty to really talk
there
about.
might not be a Tom Brady that starts even the next season, which they didn't make the playoffs at 9-7.
No, they did not make it in 2002. They missed it.
But that's great, Vinatieri. I'm big when you're in the Hall of Fame that you have longevity and along with great stats as well. Vinatieri kicked for 24 years?
And I think he ended up kicking more years with the Colts.
Yeah, he's like the Carlton Fisk.
Yes.
Carlton Fisk spent more years with the White Sox than the Red Sox, where everyone knows him as a Red Sox. I think Vinatieri spent more time with the Colts than the Patriots, but his biggest kicks are as a New England Patriot.
So there'll definitely be something to celebrate this summer out in Canton if you're a Patriot fan.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and then the following year, you got to figure Belichick gets in the following year. He missed, by 11 votes?
11 votes,
And no disrespect to the guys that got in. Was it? I'm drawing what? Elsie Greenwood. Do you remember?
It's not a bumper crop, I know.
No, but Roger Craig, and I'm drawing a blank on the third, but they are deserving as well. Craig was a great player, but I guess Belichick maybe next year.
Maybe next year for Bill.
All right, Brendan, we got about a minute to go. We're both 8-4.
Well, yes, we are.
In our playoff predictions, you did pick against the Patriots.
I did.
You did take the Broncos. I was all over the Patriots. I want to get your final prediction. I've got mine. I'll even write it down just so it's official. But go ahead.
All right, I'm going to say Patriots. I'm going to go with them. I'm going to say 23-17.
23-17. All right, I think I'm taking the Patriots as well. Let's see a score. Let's do something.
Because this will be the tiebreaker here.
This will be the tiebreaker. We'll figure out, if it's closest or close without going over. We'll just go closest. I guess I'm going to end up with the over because I'm going to go 25-17, 25, 35, 45. Oh, no, it's still under, isn't it?
Yeah, still under.
Yeah, all right, so still under. So we're both going under. Obviously, we both got the pass to cover. Stayed at 4.5, like almost the whole time. Opened at 3.5, bumped to 5, came back to 4.5, and it's lived there for like the last 10 or 11 days. Crazy that it hasn't budged.
And even with the news that Drake May has with that issue.
You're right, and I guess, and the safety for the Seahawks, Nick, Amanwari, any issue there? I guess he's been cleared to play.
He's cleared to play, ready to go. So that will be something to keep mindful of tomorrow if you're the Patriots and attacking that secondary.
Ultimately, I think the Patriots just have more weapons, and the defense is a little underrated. I think they come in a little cranky about not getting any respect. Patriots, they used to playing good defenses in the playoffs. I think all that factors in. I think if somehow they can get Travion Henderson just going, just one big run, I think it opens things up.
But I think it comes down to Mill Williams and Christian Barmore. They got to control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
If they do so, that sets up everybody else.
And it might be the last time we see Christian Barmore.
Maybe.
But we'll see after the Super Bowl. All right. Thank you so much for joining us in the Chief Seats. Thanks to Moose and Marty. I usually say Marty Moose, and then I crack myself up laughing from vacation. So I didn't do that this time.
Yeah, that's
So thank you for joining us in the Chief Seats. Next week we expect to have Pat Holland back. Might be by new technology here at the station, and to get Pat in from home before he can join us back in the studio. But congratulations to Pat on a very successful operation for him, and that's couldn't be happier. Brendan, thank you so much for coming in.
Appreciate it.
Joining us again this week. It's a lot of fun as always. Go Pats. There's nothing else more I can say. I got the shirt on again. Thank you for joining us in the Chief Seats. 99.5 FM, 1240 AM, and OneSocketRadio.com. Have a great weekend, everybody. Let's do
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant